The teacher evaluation systems that districts are rolling out across the country have become an intensive focus of study for education researchers. On October 23, 2014, the Northeast Educator Effectiveness Research Alliance at REL Northeast Islands and the National Center for Teacher Effectiveness at the Harvard Graduate School of Education invited researchers and practitioners to EDC headquarters in Waltham to examine what we are learning about the implementation of these systems.
It seemed like kind of a perfect moment to stop and take stock and say, well, what do we know so far? You know, there are a number of studies that have come out. There's a lot that is being implemented statewide in states for the first time now.
We have spent a lot of our time in our core study and our research work looking at measures and less on the implementation side. So I was really excited to bring folks together to focus on how is implementation going.
To kick off the day, NCTE's Dr. Thomas Kane delivered a keynote address on a range of issues, from the use of student surveys to inform evaluations to the potential of technology to improve teacher observations.
Most of the airtime has been focused on the value-added measures, or in places that have been contemplating the student surveys. That's been controversial. But actually, the area that I think has been the hardest to do, and the hardest to do well, is the classroom observation. You know, are principals holding teachers to the same standards? A second concern is, can principals handle the added workload?
With the help of REL West, Ben Hayes, Director of Research and Evaluation at Washoe County School District in Nevada, has been examining growth measures as a component of teacher evaluation.
One of the later projects has been looking at the stability or the reliability of growth measures when you attribute them to teachers or to schools. And what we found is, no surprise, it's not reliable. I mean, there's a relationship there, of course, and there's some reliability there, but it's not the reliability you would want to make kind of high stakes decisions, even when you combine a couple or 2 or 3 years together. And if we can make a theory of action or be thoughtful about how we get to measuring teacher effectiveness with some student outcomes in some years from now, not forcing it right now if we don't have the right data, then great, let's think together.
We had some lessons learned from early implementation of new teacher evaluation models in Arizona. Lessons about perceptions of initial implementation, the time and the resources that were involved, whether any early outcomes were achieved, were they starting to get better conversations, were teachers getting more reflective about their practice, were they changing their practice. It was a valuable discussion for my colleagues, both who brought lessons from New Jersey and New Hampshire, as well as folks in the room who represented a lot of different districts and state contexts.
So I talked today about 2 studies that have been done in the past 2 summers in Illinois, looking at really principals' perceptions of the teacher evaluation model, the teacher evaluator training they had to do, in addition to specific aspects related to capacity and time. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of hours that they're spending, weeks on end, doing teacher evaluation. And so part of that, we were also trying to learn a little bit about some of the coping strategies that they had developed and what their needs were.
It's to the credit of the event designers to try and inform really difficult questions like that with research data and systematic investigations that will help us answer that and do the hard work of making teacher evaluation data help kids.
It was really valuable for me to hear about the different processes people are undertaking to try to set the conditions that are necessary for effective teacher evaluation and principal evaluation.
People have been talking about and thinking about how do you improve teacher practice for generations, right? It's just we're looking at it in a slightly different way and maybe with a little bit more data than we have in the past. How do we probe more deeply in that direction in our research too? How do we look at how districts and states are using the data? What is that data being used for? That's kind of the next thing I think to explore.